Hello everyone, this is Sarah the Sane here, and welcome back for another part 5 of What If Deku Was Abandoned and Iron Man, so let's get to it. So in the last recap, Izuku reflected on saving Bakugo, Jarvis telling him about his instinct as a hero and his decision to take on the Stark's name. He also covered his preparation on the U.S.J exam, including cleaning the Dagobah beach, with he enhances his condition of his work, and he proved this in the during exam. Nezuko told pro heroes that he checked the files on him, and it was reviewed that Izuku is quirkless and his last name of Stark. And Izuku saved a rocket from a zero-point robot, and Izuku told Nezuko that he built his Iron Man suit. So that's all the recap, so let's begin. Izuku started walking through the halls of a UA. Then he found the one in a dorm rooms, or the classroom. Taking a deep breath, he just muttered to himself, "Alright, this is it. We made all through hell to get here. Let's just hope that before he could finish his thought or open the door, he heard one familiar voice argue on the other side, and he didn't take long to recognize him, Bakugo. Izuku sighed and rubbed his face, frustrated. Yep, just the beginning alrighty. Opened the door, he found Ida scolding Bakugo for putting his feet on his desk. Bakugo expressed a shift when he saw Izuku. Eyes widened slightly. Ida turned to notice Izuku, and with his iconic robotic approaching, and he introduced himself and mentioned that he knew about the rescue points from the exam, which Izuku didn't, or he at least he knew, but he said honestly, but told Ida that is what supposed heroes are to do, that save others, not just destroy robots. Ida looked surprised and admitted he didn't know either. He would just follow the rules. And Izuku would forgive him. Then Araka arrived, immediately recognized him. She think about what he saved her in the attack by the zero pointer, which Izuku smiled and nodded. Before the conversation could continue, he noticed something odd. He looked behind him and he saw the man wrapped in the yellow sleeping bag and lying on the floor. Ida and Araka followed his glance, blinking in confusion. It was their homeroad teacher, Aizawa. Aizawa told the announcer he's announcing that he was a teacher. He grabbed a one gym uniform and ordered them to change for the quirk adversity test. But Araka thought that what about the orientation? But Aizawa himself, his class and his rules. In the locker room, while changing, Kirishima glanced over at Izuku and was shocked. He told him that he's kind of ripped, which Izuku thankfully, I think he's been like some intense training, which he replied. His voice casual. Kirishima didn't notice about his arc reactor embedded in his chest. What's that? Oh, it's nothing. Izuku deflected. No one wanted to tell them about his tragic past. However, thankfully to Principal Nezu, Izuku has received an email after passing the exam allowing him to bring his Iron Man gear. The pro heroes were aware of his quirkless status, and he was grateful that they understand. As a result, he has his both Iron Man combat kit and flight kit with him. Just so you know, this is for Fortnite Chapter 5, Season 4, so you get know about that. They assemble in the field, quirk adversity test. A few students whisper about why Izuku wear a gear, but Aizawa silenced them and tossed the ball at Izuku. He told him how far can he throw a ball, in which he did about 70 meters. I would say, for me, I would say that Midoriya did use a testing at how far he can throw without no suit. So yeah. So Aizawa told him that stand in a circle, which Aizawa ordered with a tone that hint of something deeper. Izuku stood in the center, eyeing the ball. He launched into the air using a flight kit, hover about 30 meters. I put that because I would say like average who cannot breathe like very atmosphere. They can like heavily breath. Anyways, then hurl the ball with full force. As they began to descend or about to fall, he activated both of his repulsor beam and tried to make a fire at it, like propeller to it even further. He landed gently in the circle. He looks at Saul who stare at his phone. 2008 meters. Saw announcing, showing the screen. The class gasped after seeing that, but Bakugo clenched his fist in rage. He had come in second place the practical exam with 77 points, while Deku, quirkless, had a score 115. How is this possible? Bakugo grunted. Deku's quirkless. He flew with like silent, but he showed him very aggressive. I'll beat him. I'll destroy him. The rest of the test follow. I want to go all one by one, but it's kind of very long. So, in 50-meter dash, Zuko clocked with 2 seconds. Grip strength, he nearly broke the device because with the iron suit. Standard long drop, he flew in the sandbox. Softball throw, he already done that. Sit on toe and toe touch, he done it easily without his gadget. Direct distant run, quite a little bit drop for Momo, who she created a bike. At the end, Aizawa shows the ranking. Nozuka was first, Mineta was last. Then Aizawa revealed that the expulsion threat was a lie, as a test of their resolve. Momo think that she suspect it wasn't real. However, Nezuko disagreed. To himself, that he was serious, because he did remember what happened to the last year Class 1A during the sports festival of how they didn't even show up. But however, he knew that something unsettled the way of how Azal had glared at him, like every single match. So after they went to their locker rooms to change their uniforms, Omai watched them from afar, which Aizawa knew he was there, and tells him, why is he watching us? Omai tells him he was checking on them in case you did least expel the one of the Class 1A. And Aizawa tell him that he saw over their potential. However, Omai got one question for him. Aizawa, I got to say, why do you have such a hatred towards young Stark? That's none of your business. Aizawa coldly snap and walk away. Omai remained in a result meeting, or remembers the result meeting with Nezu, who explained Azuka's background, quirkless, and his grandson, of Tony Stark. Aizawa showed a strange reaction that day. Was it because he was quirkless? Omai made a note to speak with Azuka during tomorrow's battle trial. Back in Class 1A, the students introduced themselves one by one. When it was Azuka's turn, he stepped to the front, which he did tell his name and he was quirkless. He was expected to laughter. However, it was changed. Instead, saw concern and curiosity. Only except Bakugo sneer because he thought that they all laugh at him. Which is Zuko for himself? They didn't mock him. He smiled softly, thinking that this school year will be a good. Then, the next day on the battle trial, Omai entered dramatically, the class erupted in cheers. Today, you engage in a battle trial. Suit up and head to Ground B. Once there, Omai waited. Then he heard a rocket sound. Not just a rocket, a boost fly. Then he already knew who he is as Azuka arrived. P.S. That is not Mark 6. That's his own suit of Iron Man Alpha suit of red and gold from Fortnite. Just to make you guys make sense about that. And All Might hasn't used this chance to talk. Tell me, you once asked me if a quirkless person could be a hero. I didn't give you the answer you wanted. Which All Might felt down of how he kinda disrespect Zuko of it. However, Zuko replied to him, You were trying to protect me, or you were trying to protect the quirkless people who cannot, or tried to be a hero, which I cannot forgive you. Which All Might was smiled, and Tony Stark at the bridge was your grandfather? Yes, Izuku said. All Might was stunned about that. Then the rest of the class when they arrived, then All Might went and changed back to emotion to joy around the class. He explained the rules about the bar trial, and you already know that, yeah. That Yuzuku and Raka as heroes versus Bakugo and Ida as villains. Bakugo smirked darkly. I'm going to crush you, Deku. When he, inside, Ida guarded the fake bomb while Bakugo stormed off to attack Izuku. Outside, Izuku and Raka formed a plan, which Izuku told Araka to float to the roof while he enters from below. And the reason why Izuku's formed the plan, because he knew about Bakugo's life. And he knew for a fact that either him and Araka go into the rooftop if Bakugo doesn't know that they're not at the bottom. He goes straight to the top and will cause a huge series of damage of it. So he needed to go there alone. So when Izuku go to the second floor, Bakugo ambush him, but with a quick reflex, Izuku used Repulsor to push himself for not get able to damage, and shoot his Repulsor blast at him, which that stunned him. Bakugo was grunt. I told you, you do not apply UA. And yeah, who you think you are? A teacher? Please. I'm going to show you what a quirkless can be a hero. Then Bakugo enraged. He started to tackle Izuku. But, however, Bakugo thought that Midoriya will only rely on his own range attack. But after he tried to attack or tried to throw a punch at him, Izuku delivered another punch at his face. The two clashed of each other. Izuku used an energy shield for Bakugo's explosions when he was about to use it. And yes, I kind of add the energy shield. And yes, I don't know in the comics that Tony did have a energy shield, but I know he has an energy shield on the endgame when he tried to protect himself while Hulk using a Infinity Gauntlet on Avengers Endgame. So yeah. So this fight was only a machine versus a explosion fury. But over the fight, Bakugo had enough. I have enough of you. He raised up his grenade gauntlet. I stored a sweat to create massive explosions. All Might shouted, but tell him to stop. But however, Bakugo ignored him. With Izuku already knows what's gonna happen, so Izuku charged a Repulsor and chest Unibeam, and when Bakugo launches a huge explosion on his grenade gauntlet, Izuku used two of his Repulsor and his chest Unibeam to cause a 3-beam attack. We went through his explosions and hit in Bakugo. He didn't have no time to dodge, so he got hit by an attack, which unfortunately his hero suit or his upper suit is completely destroyed. However, not fully destroyed, kind of burned him, so he won't have the scars. With that huge push, it will consider knocking him out, which All Might declared that Bakugo is down. Then Izuku blasted the wall right behind him and flew outside to the 5th floor. He contacts Araka to go now as Izuku starts to destroy the 5th floor's wall, distracting Ida. So the fight has happened, but he wanted to make this end. So Izuku blasts Ida's leg, which he has an energy quirk, not just fully destroy it, try to knock him or try to trip him down. As Ida was knocked down, he was trying to get up. However, Izuku ready to blast at Ida. And dare him to make a move. Then Araka float and touch the bomb, which All Might declares as Hero Team wins. And then Izuku helped Ida up, And Ida told him, or he did tell him he did well, which Ida would then reply him thanks that he didn't have a chance against him. Then Oraka approached them and tells him that we didn't, and he said which she said Deku, which Izuku flinched. Deku, which Oraka did explain about the Baku say that, but Izuku tells him that was a useless word meaning, which Oraka herself thinks trying to make her like the Deku nickname, which she told him that it means something like who like never give up, which she replied. Then for a moment Zuko was smile. Was not first time he thinks about like Deku of that. So he smiled. Then he can call him that. And afterwards, Bakugo was transported by the medic bot. Momo named Izuku an MVP, praised his strategy. Later, after the battle trial, when Izuku was about to go to the locker room, he was approached by Power Loader, which this makes Izuku shocked about this and asking what is he doing here, which Power Loader did explain that he was quite impressive that Nezu told us that you built the suit himself, which Izuku's faceplate, not the full helmet, only had the faceplate removed, which he said that he did. Then Power Loader invited him to the development studios. As they went in there, May immediately blitzed through and examined the suit. Izuku tells May to like step out the front as he automatically like the front armor suit like folded open. The development studio like Clone Power Loader and May were shocked about this. Then after Power Loader remove his own shockiness and permission to him, can they like study it like for weeks, which is good for himself that I already got more of them at my home, with Zuko just said casually. And Power Loader was speechless. Then Izuku warned May to take care of it, and unexpected for Power Loader, she eagerly agreed. So back in class, the student asked where he had gone, and he asked them that he was with Power Loader, which, like that. Meanwhile, in the nurse's office, Bakugo woke up. He remembers everything, and shred. I was beaten by quirkless Deku in front of everyone, including All Might. He clenches his fist. His pride was destroyed. But for him, his pride destroyed, but his ego, no. I know. I'll destroy him next time. And that is a promise, he said with an evil smile on his face. Far away in a dark lab, a monster created the U.S.J Nomu, a weapon that built to kill All Might. The real test was coming soon. I'm gonna stop right here. So what do you guys think? Will Zuko tell his class one day about Arc Reactor on his chest? Will All Might make a note of Zuko after he tell him that his grandfather is Tony Stark? What will Zuko do up against the Nomu in the U.S.J? Find out on my channel, like and subscribe for another part 6, and peace.